Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about my free-to-play account and everything I did to create a top-tier free-to-play account and beat all of the PvE content in the game in under 8 months. Because in April of 2021, I decided I wanted to do an experiment where I created a free-to-play account and see how long it would take me to get to the point where I can beat Null and Mephisto in World Boss Legend 5 out of 5 times, and I effectively got there about a week ago. So I wanted to show that to you guys, and I also wanted to let you guys know what I've been doing to get to the point where I can beat these guys every single day, because that's the end game right now. However, some of you guys have been telling me you're playing the game for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you still can't beat Null or Mephisto even once, which doesn't make any sense to me, because if I was able to get here in under 8 months when this is not even my main account and I'm only playing this account for about 35 to 45 minutes a day, not even doing everything that you can do in the game, and I got here in 7.5 to 8 months, it should not take you 2 to 3 years to get to the point where you can beat these guys 5 times. So you're playing the game incorrectly. And that's why this account exists. It's to give you guys a roadmap to follow if you're free to play or a new player, because too often do I see new players or free-to-play players alike complaining that they can't make any progress in Marvel Future Fight and the game is pay to win, and that's far from true. The game is quite generous. It's honestly one of the most generous Marvel, frankly not even just Marvel, one of the most generous games out there, and you just have to know who to invest in character-wise to get you to where you want to go. A lot of characters in this game are very good now compared to when I started playing the game, but there's still some of them that are fan favorites that are really bad, and that's what I noticed from a lot of players. They come to the game and they build their favorite characters, and then they wonder, why can I not clear this piece of content? That's because the character you invested in is really bad. So it takes you longer to get to where I got to in 7 months. So let's talk, and I'll let you guys know what I do on a daily and weekly basis. So first things first, I only play on this account for about 45 minutes max per day, and anything that can be auto-played, I auto-play it for sure. So I log in and I make sure to do the dailies, all of them, every single day, because as a new player and a free-to-play player, every little bit of crystal helps. So you want to make sure you get that 25 every single day. After that, I generally jump into World Boss and I'll do all 5 of my World Boss clears. If I'm trying to get books, I'll go to whichever ultimate drops the book that I'm after. If not, I'll just go over here and I'll play Null and Mephisto, right? I'll do all my 5 clears, then I'll jump into Timeline Battle and I'll put that thing on auto with my PvP team. Currently I'm in gold because I've just been autoing everything. I get a decent amount of wins, but I don't spend any gold trying to refresh, trying to fight stronger opponents, because currently the timeline meta is filled with Sentry. And although the characters that I have on my team right here, Icarus, Cersei, and Shang-Chi are good characters, my cards are not good enough for me to overpower a very well-built Sentry. Okay, so I run my timeline battles on auto. After that, I'll go into dispatch and I'll actually start burning some clear tickets and some energy so I can get some stuff back and get some gold, because as a free-to-play player, you need a lot of gold, man, and you got to make sure you invest that gold wisely when you do get it, right? So as I was progressing, the first thing I did was I actually built Quicksilver. One of the mistakes I made on this account is actually buying the summer uniform for Quicksilver. I don't think that's something that I would recommend that you guys do, but because you have to build him if you want to unlock World Boss Legend, I decided to build him. So he was the first tier 2 native that I built. After that, I built Scarlet Witch, and then after that I built Cable. I also bought Cable's Summer Days uniform because I had him built and I wanted to use him for stuff, and the base kit is really bad. Do keep in mind that as you are progressing as a new player, in order to get to World Boss Legend, you are going to need to build these 3 characters. Otherwise, you're gonna have to shell out a bunch of crystals to skip over them. And if you do that, do keep in mind that when we get new legends, you're also going to have to pay crystals to skip fighting them in order to unlock those legends. So it's a bad idea to not build these guys. And who knows, maybe one day they'll be at the top of the meta, and having them because you had to build them wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay, so besides that, every single day I'll jump in and I'll see if there's any progress that I can make in the epic quest. For me, I think the epic quest is a really good thing for new players and free-to-play players to take a look at. The ones I chose to do are these ones. I did Cersei, Icarus, Kingo, and I left these other two here because they require that I pay crystals, and right now I just don't have it. As a free-to-play player, you're gonna have a short supply of crystals, so you want to spend them as wisely as possible. I didn't really spend any time on this epic quest right here, simply because I don't have the CCF, the build up sentry, so I don't think it's a wise idea to do this epic quest early on. Same thing for this one right here. Didn't spend any time on it. Don't have the black antimatter and the gold to put into beta rate build right now. The ones I chose to do is actually Deadpool and Wolverine. The reason why I did these is because they give me access to Veiled Secrets and this other mission right here, the Big Twin, that allows me to farm the Big Twin allows me to farm for feathers. Farming for feathers allows me to convert the feathers into cards, and then I can use these cards to reroll my premium cards or to craft my premium cards. It also gives you access to cards early on before you even get to your premium cards or even get the ones that you're after. You might be looking at this set and you're like, whoa, he has 4 of the best premium cards in the game. How is he free to play? Luck is a big factor, but if you're consistently logging in and doing all of the token events that they give out and choosing cards every single time, eventually you will get lucky. It might take you a little bit longer than it took me to get these cards, but eventually you will get lucky if you keep doing all of the token events, and every single time there is an option to choose a premium card. If you always choose it, eventually you will get the ones that you're after. Next thing I want to say is make sure you guys are playing Giant Boss Raid every single day, at least 3 to 5 times. And when you are playing it, make sure that you're playing it with at least 35 boost points, because the boost points is going to ensure that you get a decent amount of these cubes while not having to spend as much time or energy farming. And then on top of that, you want to make sure that you're getting the premium comic card tokens every single day. As soon as you start playing, as soon as you get your first tier 2s, you want to make sure you come in here and start doing this. If you only have like 2 teams that you can use, what you can do is you come in and instead of using 35 boost points, you actually use 70 boost points every single time. That way you have a high probability of getting maybe 6 or 7 tokens on your first run, and then the second run you can get maybe the last 4 tokens or 3 tokens or whatever, right? So as you have more teams, you can use less boost points, but when you don't have that many teams, make sure you use as much boost points as possible. You definitely want to make sure that you're doing this. The reason why you want to be doing this 3 to 5 times per day is because you want to be passively farming up the cubes so that when you do get the cards that you're after, you can start crafting and start getting some additional stats on your cards, because regardless of what stats you get, they are going to be beneficial. A little bit of extra defense to help you stay alive in World Boss, a little bit of extra attack to help you do more damage, some cooldown, and if you're lucky, you get some pierce. Or if you're unlucky with the premium cards that you're getting, you can use said premium cards to re-roll with just pressing the craft and craft combine and then using some of the cubes that you have stockpiled. So do keep that in mind. These are 4 of the cards that I would recommend if you are new or free to play. The other ones I would recommend would be the cable card. I'll show you in the collection right over here. This one right here, I would recommend if you get it, you can put it in your set. And then the other one is actually the Spider-Man 605 card that is in this set. The other cards, the other premium cards, they're mediocre. Some are good, but they're just not good enough. and eventually if you do craft them, you are going to want to replace them. Next thing you want to do, I usually do this when I'm like brushing my teeth or something. I'll just put co-op on and just let it run on auto. You don't have to spend any of your active playtime here. Just put it on autoplay and let it run. This is nice and easy. You get some gold if you do get lucky. If you're VIP 0, some days you get no gold, but it's still a good idea to do it because you'll get some additional materials that you can use to rank up your characters. Speaking of ranking up characters, as you're playing the game and you're logging in daily, you're gonna get this free chest. Let me show you guys right here, this free character chest, and you want to make sure that you open it every single day. And every character that you do get, you want to make sure that you rank up that character, because as you rank them up, you will get achievements, and the achievements will actually give you crystals. So some of you guys are wondering, how do I have so many uniforms when I'm free to play? Every character that the game gives me, either from a login bonus or from me pulling on the free chest every single day, I get them as far up as possible. Ideally, you want to get them to 6 stars because that's going to give you a decent amount of crystals, and that's going to help you purchase uniforms and save for future deluxe packages or the current ones if that's what you're after. So do keep that in mind, right? Next thing I will say is you want to try to do as many Shadowland stages as possible each week, because Shadowland gives you up to 3 million gold, a bunch of black antimatter, and a bunch of first time rewards, and they help a lot early on to speed up your progression. Usually when it comes to Shadowland, I'll wait until Wednesdays to start pushing in Shadowland, simply because it gives me an entire week to build up as many characters as possible to help me push as far as I can go. So I would recommend that you guys do the same. Now the next thing I want to talk about is dispatch missions. Honestly, early on I didn't spend as much time as I would look like to in here because this was not my main focus and this is not my main account. But what I would recommend that you do is that whenever you get a new tier 3 or a new tier 2 or whatever, just come in here and set it on auto progress and see how far you can get, and then just dispatch some characters so you can get some additional rewards passively. If you do have the time and this is your main account, then yes, you should always try to push as high as possible. But for me, since this is an experiment to see how much I can get out of this account while spending as little time as possible, I didn't focus too much of my time here. But I honestly think this is a big part of a free-to-play's journey, and you should spend a lot more time than I currently do or did in this mode, because the passive rewards, they add up. The gold, the energy, the awakened crystals, the EOD, the TCP, all that stuff, it adds up and it goes a long way. So you definitely should spend more time here than I did. Moving on, the next thing I want to talk about is Alliance Battle. It only takes you about maybe 2 or 3 minutes. You definitely want to do Alliance Battle every single day. I know a lot of people will tell you it doesn't matter. It does matter. It gives you a decent amount of gold and it gives you some biometrics. A lot of times, since you're a new player, it's going to give you access to a new character. And what did I say earlier? Ranking up every character that you get is a good way to get crystals, right? So that's another reason why you should be doing Alliance Battle. I see a lot of people, and a lot of people even in this free-to-play alliance of mine, are not doing their Alliance Battle. See what I'm saying? So a lot of these people right here, they're playing the game half-assed. Shout out to Spiderling for constantly reminding me why I don't want to be a slacker in this game, because he's been playing before me and he's still, I believe, only has like 1 clear, maybe 2 clears for World Boss Legend, while I got the 5. Also, you get a lot of extra ISOs from doing World Boss every single day. Like for example, look at how many extra ISOs I have. I have over 300, and a lot of those are actually 6-star ISOs. So I always see free-to-plays on their accounts, they have a lot of characters without ISOs. Look at my account. This is simply from just playing Alliance Battle every single day and Shadowland every single week. Get a lot of extra ISOs. So that's another reason why you guys should be doing that. Now, one thing I forgot to remind you guys, when it comes to cards and crafting your very first cards, you just want to settle for any amount of pierce that you get. Don't focus too heavily on re-rolling for perfect stats and max amount of pierce. Even if you only get 2% pierce after crafting 4 cards, that's perfectly fine. Just keep stockpiling cubes and cards, and once your set is completely done or almost completely done, then you can start focusing on re-rolling and getting better stats. frankly, I don't even think you should re-roll the base of the cards too often until you have all of your cards crafted, and then you see what stats you need, and then you go back in and you start min-maxing. That's my personal opinion as a new player slash free-to-play player. If you're a whale, you can do whatever you want, obviously, to min-max your roster. Now, character-wise, outside of building Quicksilver, Cable, and Scarlet Witch, the only tier 2 natives I've built so far are the Epic Quest ones, which is Wolverine and Deadpool, just because I wanted to get through those epic quests. These characters, I only use them for Shadowland, and I don't see myself tier 3ing them anytime soon. They were just a means to an end, to get to the point where I can farm a bunch of feathers. That way I can get more cards, or I can build up feathers to build up better, stronger mutants that come in the future. Or when I get around to it, maybe I'll build up Wolverine and buy his uniform since he's good for a timeline battle. But that's only if I get his artifact, which as a free to play, it's gonna be tough to get that. Anyways, besides those guys, I only build Supergiant because she's an amazing DPS and she's gonna be valuable to me for Danger Room and, more importantly, Alliance Battle and World Boss Legend. And then I'm gonna be building up Proxima later this month. Hopefully I get her done before the new year. That would be really, really nice. But she's gonna eat up a lot of gold, a lot of black antimatter, a lot of bios, and a lot of CCF. So we'll see how that goes. Now, I usually see people in the comments asking me how soon they should build their very first tier 3 native. You will see right here I have Null and Mephisto at level 1. For me, I would say once you get to the point where you can clear World Boss Legend 5 out of 5 times, which I just got to, now is when you should start saving your gold to build up one of these. Your gold, your CCF, and all that stuff. That's when you should start saving to build one of these guys. But just do keep in mind, they are very, very taxing, and while you're building them, it's gonna cripple your ability to build other characters. And that's why I'm saying get to the point where you can clear World Boss Legend 5 out of 5 times, so you're not missing out on resources that you could use to build up other characters to clear World Boss Legend while you're building these guys. And I would definitely not recommend building Null as one of your first tier 3 natives. If you want to build Sentry, that's cool, but I think it should be Mephisto first, then Sentry. And if you just want to waste materials, go ahead and build Null, because he's not really anything special right now. Well, he's special because he's a world boss, but besides that, not really much else. Final thing here, hopefully I didn't miss anything in my journey. I did not buy any of the deluxe packages. They're all still here, so if you go here, you'll notice I didn't buy the deluxe package for Gilgamesh or Makari. I didn't buy the deluxe package for Moonstone. I didn't buy the deluxe package for Big Nova, aka Richard Rider. None of these deluxe packages did I buy, because currently I don't think this is a good thing for you to focus on within your first 9 months of playing the game. There are so many strong characters that you get access to early on that cost way less than a deluxe package does. Now, do keep in mind, when you buy a deluxe package, you're getting more than just a character. You're getting access to a mission that is going to give you valuable resources. So that's something to consider. But for me, buying a deluxe package for 4,000 crystals versus buying 4 uniforms, I personally think early on, that is a much better investment, because 4 characters that I can take to tier 3, that's a team, right? That's a team and 1 extra character that I can be using in World Boss Legend to give me back resources. So that's why I chose not to get any of the deluxe packages. However, I am going to be picking up Makari when I get my next 2,000 crystals, okay? So she's going to be coming home very, very soon. And since Black Friday just passed, I actually went ahead and I bought Makari's uniform in preparation for that. That's not something I would recommend under normal circumstances, but I decided that I was going to pick up Makari's uniform. I can't equip it because I don't have the character, but within the next, I would say, month, I should have enough crystals, because like I told you guys, I'm building up every character that I unlock, and that's giving me a decent amount of crystals. The login events and stuff, that's giving out some crystals as well. Whenever they have events that give out crystals, it helps a bit, so I'll get there. So guys, we're gonna wrap it up right here. Thank you so much for watching. Hope this video was helpful. Like I told you guys, man, I'm here on the free-to-play ground with you guys, just trying to show you all the way. And if you're a new player and you're kind of confused in regards to which characters are good to build early on, just look up my free-to-play account, and if I have that character built, then chances are that character is a valuable character to invest in early on.